Okay, YouTube, I'm back. Um, I actually straightened this door out, which probably took me almost an hour. Now, if you could see the side of the door where the sheetrock meets here, it was just put on totally crooked. So now I could pretty much, instead of that half-inch gap or whatever was here, and I could probably move it over a little bit more, but I removed all those big shims that had this door all crooked. Of course, I had to put a couple of the big ones on the bottom, but I don't want to close this door all the way because I just painted it. But as you can see now, the door is actually square. Actually, I will close it, and you can see it's not rubbing no more, and it closes all over the place. I might have to put another shim in here just to close that gap a little bit, but and I gotta cut those shims out. They actually, yeah, they fell down. But this was that busted bathroom door, that broken one, as you could see. It's all together now. It's holding, the screws are holding. This door frame is actually flush now here, flush on this side, and it's pretty much a lot more level and square than it was before. And you can see how the transition piece looks now. And guess what? I got the back door on finally. So that's all on and trimmed out. Of course, I got the trim pretty good up there, as you could see. I'm trying to zoom in here, but the problem with that trim was it stuck out past the, it stuck out. I had to notch this trim out because I couldn't fit the piece in there. Let me zoom back out. I couldn't fit the piece in there because it was hitting the cabinet. So I got a full piece on this side, that, and I had to straighten this whole door frame out also. But the door is pretty good. I mean, it's a tiny little bit off on the top up here. On this top corner, there's a little bit of a gap, but what I'm gonna do is from the outside, I'm gonna, cause it's open on the outside still, I have to put the trim on the outside. So I'm gonna actually nail a couple of shims in there, and I'm gonna push that corner. I'm gonna push this corner up here down a little bit, about 1/8 of an inch. So as you can see though, how nice I got the lines on the door here. I mean, for what this was before, how crooked that other door was, that was a miracle I got that in. And yeah, I installed that door and painted it. So, but I have to do something for the outside of the door. And I actually moved this whole cabinet over, so I got a full piece of trim right there now, down the side of the cabinet. And now, that's not the trim that's crooked, that's the cabinet that's all crooked and messed up down there. So, and I had to peel off some of this vinyl. Like I said, this is gonna get a whole new floor, but you can basically see, kind of, actually, let me turn this light on. I don't know, oh, there's no, somebody took the light bulb. Jeez. Anyways, I got this, come on. I got this, I got that pretty tight there. But there was a little bit of rot in the floor. But it's not, it wasn't bad. Like bad. But as you could see how tight my corners are on my trim now. So I fixed that big bubble in the wall, of course, where I fixed it before. Because I had to remove the old door. It cracked again. But now I actually screwed that sheetrock tight to the wall. That sheetrock wasn't even screwed to the wall over the top of the door. And I have to put some insulation in there. But, I mean, that door is pretty much airtight. And as you can see it on the floor, it's... Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit more. Okay. The door looks pretty good. And I did most of the trim. I think I'm going to put this door trim on now. Might as well trim out this door, put a couple of baseboards on the outside here. I'm not gonna do the inside of that trim today. I'm gonna do it tomorrow because I don't want to close that door. Actually, I could do the top piece. I don't know. I might just leave the inside of there till tomorrow. And it's pretty dark in all these rooms. Oh, that's another brand. This is a brand new door. I gotta paint that door white, and that's gonna go here, and then I'll trim that out. But yeah. And here's the closet doors. Oh, I painted that ugly thing with the tape on it. And I painted this door a couple of coats. That's gonna be that closet door. And you see what I did? If you see that, don't paint these doors and not stick something in between here because they're bifold doors. If you paint this door with a roller, and as you see, I painted this with a roller, but it came out pretty smooth. It came out nice and smooth because I got a smooth roller. If you paint this door leaning flat up against the wall, you will glue you'll glue the freaking door. It'll get stuck, and then when you go to open it back up, all your paint's gonna start peeling off. So always put anything, stick anything, a little piece of wood, even a couple of screws, anything just to hold that door open a little bit while it's leaning up against something. So when you paint it, it don't stick here. And I see a little drip in there. See that little drip that was right there? I mean, I gotta paint the inside edges of that door anyway. And I don't know if he don't want me to even paint the back side of the door, just the front side of the door. So, because it's a bifold door, when it opens, it closes into itself, and you don't even see the back side of the door. You just see the sides. So, who's gonna stand inside of the closet and close the door to see if it's painted on the opposite side? But yeah, that was one of the biggest jobs today, was taking the old door out and putting a new door in. See if there's any coyotes back here. There's the pickup. There's my pickup truck. Let's see. It's raining, but there's the old door and door frame. Let me close this. I gotta get my truck out of here because you see where I have to drive up and down, believe it or not, with the car there, between those two poles, with this truck. Believe me, I'll make it. I do it every day. So, as you can see, the threshold of the door, I have to put maybe something else here. I don't know. Wrap that with aluminum, put a piece of wood on there, and then I actually have to fix this, and I have to build this out because this door frame was so thin compared to, they did the same thing on the other one. That door frame right there, believe it or not, that door frame is the same size as this door frame. So I have to build this out and put the aluminum piece back on the top. But I got another shim sticking out there, but I gotta stick some insulation or something in here, and I gotta insulate over the top, right? And I don't want to turn my camera sideways because then it messes up my video, but I had to stick some insulation up in there. But as you see, the door closes, everything's lined up, it locks and unlocks. And he wanted a solid door. He didn't want the paint's actually still drying on that door. He wanted a solid door. He didn't want a window. Which I think that's a fiberglass. That's a fiberglass door too. Looks like a steel door or a wooden door, but it's not. It's fiberglass. And it's a nice door. Oh, and I forgot to paint. I probably just made a mark on the door. I put handprints on the door now. No, you can see the paint is still a little wet and shiny in some spots. But, and then I gotta fill all my little nail holes, of course, on this trim, which I'm gonna do tonight. I'm working late tonight, so yep. That's about it. This is only like a 10-minute video, but I don't really know what else to, I mean, got a few more, like I gotta trim, like I said, I gotta trim out 1, 2, did I trim this side? Oh yeah, I trimmed over here. So I gotta put, three more, this door, that door, and the inside of the bathroom door, so I gotta do 3 more, doors, trim out 3 more, well, 2 more doors, one side of this doorway, and the 2 sides of that doorway. Basically, everything else is done. There's nothing we could do about, you see how high all these doors are? I don't know why they cut the doors like that. Even with the carpet, I just don't understand what they did. Every single door in the house, they literally cut the doors. They literally cut all the doors 2 inches off the freaking ground. There was carpet in here also, but I mean, the doors weren't rubbing the carpet that bad. I don't know who put these doors in. Somebody did it. As you can see, look at look at that up there. If you could see, they freaking smashed the door frames in. I mean, it's kind of obvious with this place how they put all these doors in. They just didn't care. That door's up, that door's trimmed, painted on both sides. So that's all set. And if you notice, you can't, even if I come up to the door, there was a hole in this door somewhere over here. You can't even tell there was a hole in the door. I don't know why. Somebody put a screw in the door and they had something hanging off of that door. They did it on every single door. Every single door. These bedrooms, this door on the inside, which you're not going to be able to see because it's way too dark in here. And there's no lights on none of these ceilings in this apartment. They're all plugs that run off of, like I said before in one of my other videos. Everything's on light switches in here. That's why if you see my lights are plugged in there. It's no lights on the ceiling in here. Well, that's my light casting off of there. But everything's on a switch. So that's how all these apartments are. I don't know. They were so cheap they didn't even put lights on the ceiling. They went ahead and put a light in the hallway. Okay? They put a little light in the hallway. They put a light on the kitchen ceiling, as you can see. Like, why would you put a light there and not in the bedrooms? I don't know. It's like towards the end of them building this condominium complex. They got to these last apartments and literally, they just cheaped out on everything, you know? I don't know, maybe the builder went over budget or something, but they literally cheaped out on everything. I mean, even my sister's apartment that's on the other side of this complex, and there's two buildings to this complex. And even the apartments over there, like I said, on my sister's side, you could tell they started over there because those apartments will look a little bit better. Like the way they hung the cabinets and doors are all pretty much straight. The doors aren't all crazy crooked. So I don't know. Whoever the general contractor was on this job, they must have hired like a couple of guys. And some of the guys did half the building and were good. And the other guys, whoever else, they had half-assed everything in this place. So I guess that's just how it goes. Well, yeah. That's a little 15-minute video. And I gotta clean this, vacuum some of the sawdust. And yeah, I do have a bag for my thing. I gotta empty it out. But here's all my, as you see from the door casing, that's all my little scrap pieces there. That's my waste, guys. From the baseboards. Actually, these are pieces of baseboard from my big long cuts, but you can see I cut all my, these are gonna be my waste pieces. These little tiny blocks, like those two right there. And I think those are the, oh no, here's another one. These ones here. Yeah, is this a piece? I don't know what that's from. But yeah, these are from all the baseboard I put in. Those are my waste pieces. Right. Oh, here's another one. There you go. Out of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Those are gonna go in the kitchen. So out of my 18, yeah, about 18 or 19 pieces of baseboard that I used in this apartment. There's the end pieces of some of the smaller ones, and then there's actually, and that's my scrap, right? Literally, that's my scrap pile from the baseboard. Right there, that's it. Oh, and that piece, which is not bad. So if you know it, if you do this long enough, like I was saying about the flooring, if you do this stuff long enough for 20 years or more, you won't end up with a whole bunch of big pieces, a whole big pile of scrap. You'll end up with something like that right there. And then you'll still have nice big pieces. You know what I mean? So, I do. And here's another full piece. I just set it up there to see if it was going to make it behind. There's a refrigerator behind all that stuff. But, and I even got my little piece on. I just put all my little pieces on the corners sticking out. So what I did was, for something like this here, I put my piece here. I put my piece there like that. You see that? So now what I'll do is, this end right here, the end grain, what you do is you take some white caulk, painter's caulk. Actually, I'll do it right now. I'll save you a whole bunch of painting by doing this. Hold on. Well, radio's on. I don't know if you guys heard that, but I'm not making money off of YouTube, so they're not gonna copyright me, I don't think. Okay, but here you go. What you do is get some of this DAP. You know, this is cheap Home Depot caulk. So you just squirt a little tiny bit like that on it, and always push that release, because even though this says non-drip caulk gun, you could see it's dripping. So you see how I got that caulk on there? Now just take your finger and push it right into the caulk. Don't worry if you get a little bit on the floor. Okay. Now get your wet rag, and you could clean the floor. You see, that wipes right. Oh, there's dust. And just take your wet rag, start from the bottom, and just very lightly go like that with the rag, and clean your sides. Don't worry about the little chips because I gotta paint that anyway. But now look how smooth that is. It looks painted already. Now when that dries, then you paint it. And what you do is you take something like this, take your putty knife, and if you could see, stick your putty knife right under there. You see how that is? Any putty knife will fit right under your trim. Now you just paint that. Don't worry about it. Just go real quick. Slop, slop, slop. Know why? Your paint's gonna end up on the putty knife, not on the floor. Then slowly pull your putty knife out, and you'll have a nice clean floor with no paint on it. You could do that all day with any kind of trim. If that putty knife is so thin, a putty knife, taping knife, I should say, not a putty knife. Sorry, guys. A taping knife. This is a small 6-inch one. A taping knife will fit under just about anything, or fit behind. It'll fit behind just about anything like that. So you could actually take your putty knife and hold your paintbrush right on the putty knife and slide both of them right down to something like that. You see how I just slid that halfway down the heater? And you won't get, that's how, I don't really have to do that because I can cut in pretty good. And of course I'm gonna have to paint all these heaters too. That's gonna be the last thing I do before I walk out of here. And I gotta clean that roller before it dries up. But yeah, that's the trick for that. That caulk is probably dry enough. There's so little bit of caulk on there. It's probably dry enough to paint right now, believe it or not. Because I rubbed it into the end grains. I mean, you could always also you could always, before you nail your trim on, because I pre-painted all my trim. I pre-paint everything. Before you actually nail your trim on, you could actually just, you know, if you're afraid to get paint on the floor, just cut all your pieces to size, number them, put your number on the wall, and then do the caulk on the end grains and just paint all your end grains, and then, you know, and then after everything's dry, then nail it on. If you're worried about getting paint on the floors or on anything else. So yeah, that's how this is going. And I mean, if you guys seen this apartment before, I'm gonna clean all that tomorrow, definitely. Tomorrow I gotta come in here because it's what time is it now? It's probably about 6. No, it's 5:30. It's 5:30 or 5:25 at night. So I'm gonna be working in here till, I don't know. I still gotta put the countertops in, so I think I'm gonna do these countertops tomorrow. I'll be able to get all these countertops done tomorrow. Get the sink back in. When I take this sink out too, don't worry about it looks a mess because all the paint and stuff on there. But I got something to clean it all up. I got like a little scrubber sponge and some paint cleaner. So really, you could just take hot water and a scrubber sponge and clean all the friggin' paint out of the sink. It's stainless steel. It's not gonna do nothing to the sink, but I'm gonna clean that whole sink up really good before I put it back in the new countertop. And I'll show you that sink when I clean it all up. It'll look like brand new again. But yeah. This floor will be done tomorrow. I'll have my transition piece in here, which is inside of here now. And this door still, all these doors, this door's a little bit sticky, so I might have to just, you could see where it's rubbing here. And this door was the door that was on there. So before this one starts peeling like all the other ones, I'm just gonna take my belt sander and just belt sand this door a little tiny bit. Because as you can see, it's a little, I mean, it's pretty good up here, but like that's how crooked they put their door jamb on. Look at the big bow in it. That's because they stuffed a bunch of they got like 10, just like this doorway. They stuffed 20 big shims in the middle of the friggin' doorway. Who does that? Like this side, this is the factory edge, and you can see the factory side is good. I don't know why they stuck so many shims in. Like, look at, you got an 1/8 of an inch on the bottom. Right here, you're stuck to the door. It doesn't make any sense. But, I don't know. It's done now. There's nothing I could do about it. But try to fix it and make it work like I had to do with everything else in this place. But, again, I'll do another video tomorrow. And, all this stuff, it's all my tools. After I get the countertops in this floor, all this will be all clean, clear. Every little spot that I have to touch up and paint and caulk and fill any little gaps with caulk or whatever, I'm going to do all that first thing in the morning. Then I'll put the countertops in. Then I'll do this floor. Then I'll do the baseboard here and this. And he wants baseboard because they stuck this, you know, that vinyl. They stuck that vinyl stuff on here, which is a pain in the neck to get off. Oh my God, I can't even get that one off. So, what you do with that, if you can't get that off, I'll show you another trick real quick, because that is not gonna come off. If I try pulling on it, it's gonna pull the whole toe kick off the cabinet. Where is? I need a razor knife. Oh, this one. All right. So what you do is, don't try to pull that off. It's gonna get covered with baseboard. So just take your razor knife and just slice this part right here. Score that a couple of times, like I just did, and look. Okay, because your baseboard's not going to sit right because this piece has a curve on it. So now that I got that, and then just cut this linoleum floor right out of here. Let me try to hold my phone better. Take your razor knife and go like this, because the linoleum's going to fold up under there, as you can see. Now I just got that out of there. And look at all this stuff. Look at this. Look at all the stuff that they put by. They didn't even clean. Look at this is a big chunk of compound that I just found in there. So now, leaves and everything. There is actually a I just pulled out a leaf from behind. I literally just pulled out a freaking leaf from behind the freaking rubber baseboard. But now you'll see. Let me grab a piece of, I'll just do this one. This is a bit big anyway. And I need taller, actually that fit, oh, that, as you can see, that fits perfect under there. So now, when I do my flooring, now you can see. Of course, that end's gonna get cut off right there. But now you can see how that baseboard's gonna look under there. It fits perfect. And that's because I cut that off, or else it will be crooked. Now, if you look right here, don't worry about that piece of rubber, because now my next piece of baseboard is gonna go like this. Here, I'll just take 2 little pieces. Thought I had another. Oh, here it is. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put my baseboard there. I'm gonna nail it on, and then I'm gonna take. Actually, I might take my baseboard and stick it out like that. And then I'll put my other piece of baseboard. Let's get this right. Let's get this in here the right way. And of course, this is gonna have. Hold on, let me put my phone down. I can't balance it. I gotta nail this on here. Come on. But I'll just hold this together. Whatever, doesn't matter. All right. So actually, it's gonna go like that. But it's gonna be nice and flush once I get it on there. I just can't hold the little pieces on there because I'm trying to hold my phone and explain it. But I'll show you how that looks. I could also just 45 those corners right there. Doesn't matter. But he wants baseboard wrapped around there to try to cover that up. Which he might have to get a taller baseboard. I'm not sure. It's actually it's not gonna matter because what's gonna happen is, let's see what's in my third. Oh yeah. A piece of this flooring is gonna be there. So let's see what happens. Once the flooring's on there, and then I put this baseboard, I don't know if it's gonna cover. Actually, it fits pretty good, but you could still see a little bit of the particle board on here, so I don't know. He might have to do something with this. I mean, look at the cabinet anyway. It's got they got paint on the cabinets, like, this paint will scrape right off, but this damage here, you're not gonna get rid of that. And he's not changing all these cabinets. And as you can see, whoever sprayed in this apartment when they first did it, they freaking got, look at this, look at the cabinet. This is how I came in here. Look at they did, just freaking paint all over this cabinet. Which you could take blackjack cleaner, or what do you call it? Or oh my god, I can't even think of it. Goo Gone, like Goo Gone or something like that, and spray it on there and just take a scrubber sponge and it'll actually clean all that right off without really damaging that. But you could actually buy